What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's happening with the overall market moving forward, what's going on with other technicals and news and developments, what you should be watching for as time progresses. But let me first say I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, deposit $100, you're guaranteed 7 free stocks, and offer ends in just about 3 weeks. Anyways, for Tesla, I just wanted to call out, and for the overall market, we're seeing quite a bit of downside potential right now. We have quite a bit of bad news that's come out, and I want to talk about why on earth that is. But as you guys know, in my video from yesterday, I mentioned there's going to likely be a drop coming that's is playing out very, very nicely. I posted that about 14 hours ago. I did expect a drop to be coming to the indices in the markets, and that's what we're seeing so far. SPY is down about 0.3%, Tesla's down 4%, and the QQQ is also down during this pre-market session. So I'll break down more details about the charts, where I see the charts going in just in the next couple of minutes. Let me first go over some data real quick. Today is Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. At 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the wholesale inventories report, very minor data. And then between 11 and 1:30 p.m., we have quite a bit of data and Fed speakers. So at 11 o'clock a.m., we have Jefferson from the Fed giving a speech. At 11:30, we have the 17-week bill auction. At 11:45, we have Collins from the Fed giving a speech. At 1 p.m., we have the 10-year notes auction, followed by Cook giving a speech at 1:30 p.m. So a bunch of Fed speakers are going to be starting from 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 1:30 p.m. And then we also have the bill auctions coming out from 11:30 a.m. and also at 1 p.m. So we'll just have to wait and see how things end up looking from here. We have quite a bit of things that could shake the markets a bit, but I don't think it's going to be that crazy. This is nothing compared to like CPI or FOMC. News about the markets had quite a bit of a winning streak, especially yesterday as we pushed higher, but now we're starting to see weakness in that. As far as other equity firms go, they've been considering taking Peloton private in a potential buyout. That is one possibility, but I'm not seeing too much that's guaranteed yet. Apple on Tuesday unveiled its first new iPad models since October 2022. Fresh versions of its iPad Air and iPad Pro tablets will be coming out in 2 sizes, 11-inch and a 13-inch model, which is pretty cool. So you guys can see just like a nice, picture of what the sizes will look like. And there's been more things coming out, such as Reddit going up about 15% as they released their earnings, which are not bad whatsoever. That's actually the first time since their IPO. And we'll see how things go as we have a very, very nice looking price target potential with nice growth overall. And that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to talk about in terms of news. So what's going on with earnings? We just had Uber and Shopify. After the market closes, we have ARM, Airbnb, and AMC. Shopify is down currently about, I think it's down pretty big right now, because once again, their overall forecast for growth is that the slowest we've seen in 2 years. Despite their EPS and revenue being decent, they're forecasting slow growth quarter over quarter, and that's for the next quarter. Things are not looking as great for that. Uber also didn't do as well because they had a bad loss on their EPS. So their loss per share was 32 cents. That's actually worse than expected. Their revenue is at about $10.13 billion. That's above expectations. But their overall forecasts are not necessarily the best. So that's why Uber is actually down quite a bit. Tesla has a lot of bad news, guys. The NHTSA is pressing them for more answers about autopilots, and they have until July 1st to basically provide more information, or else they could face about $135 million in fines. And there's more investigators coming out. There's more probes where the U.S. prosecutors are now focusing on whether or not Tesla was involved in a lot of accidents, if they're misleading investors and buyers about their autopilot capabilities. There's been a lot of negative news about that, and if Tesla's involved in fraud, like a lot of big things are going on with that, so that's why Tesla's down quite a bit. So right now, I'm just going to focus on the charts, and I'll break down Tesla and the others and everything else. Right now, SPY's at 515.5. Our resistance is going to be all the way up here around this 516.8 area. If we lose 515.5, we're going to easily start dipping all the way down towards our 20 EMA at 512.66 or 513.5. So if we lose 515, look for 513.5, then the 512s. This is looking more bearish, and there's a risk of this turning right here on the 4-hour time frame. So SPY looks weaker, in my personal opinion. So look at resistance right here. Could pop a little bit and eventually make its way down lower. I think that there's a big risk of this potentially dipping. For the QQQ, we have 437 right over here as our first support zone. Losing this, we have 435 coming next, followed by 432 as our next target below that. For resistance, we're going to be looking for potentially 439, but I do see a risk of this coming all the way down to at least 435, if not these lower levels. So I do see weakness on the QQQ as a very, very strong possibility. For Nvda, we're also looking a bit more bearish. We did call this potential move to the downside that's likely coming. We could actually dip a little bit more. We're going to be looking at 895 as support. If we lose this, we're going to be dipping all the way down to about 870. So I do see some downside potential in Nvidia. I do expect it to come all the way down to about 890 very, very soon. So I'm seeing some weakness on the charts, and this is going to likely continue to fall. Look at resistance at 900 and 908, but just know that the downside is more probable in my personal opinion. Aapl right now is kind of flat. It's kind of trading sideways within this range. We have resistance at 183.5. We have support at 181.36. Could dip about a little bit to 181.36, and eventually I do see about 180 coming. So I do favor downside as a strong possibility, and then we'll have to see what happens after that. For a few more, I just want to call out that Amazon, in my opinion, is looking more bearish because I called yesterday that it's going to go up to about 190. We reached 190. Then in my video, I mentioned that it's going to likely reject, and we're going to be looking for a move all the way down to 185. So that is what's happening so far. We're actually dipping to 187. Let's look for 185, and if that fails, let's look for 183. That's going to be our next target. Watch and see where it tries to hold, but I do expect at least one of those to be tested. For Meta, we reached 472. Rejecting off that opens the doors for about 460, then 457. So I do see some potential downside coming, and we'll see how things go from there. For the VIX, I just want to say that the VIX is at this support. So I told you all that around the 12s, we do love to bounce on the VIX and also the very low 13s. Historically, that's what's been happening, and the VIX did end up bouncing off 30 at least a bit for now. So we'll have to see for confirmation if we get a follow-through move. If the VIX breaks past 14, this could be a signal that the market is not only top, but we're going to see a move to the downside. So we'll just have to wait and see. With that being said, I just want to say that this is what the charts are kind of showing us, and there is more risk of some more downside in my personal opinion. So with that happening, guys, I know some people want me to go over like Google and a few more. As far as Google goes, I do see a risk of it coming down to about 169.67 a share. It's not as weak as other stocks out there, but I do see a risk of it testing its 20 EM8 for 169 again. And if that fails, let's look for 166. But I do think 169 will be tested at the very least. So for the markets, I know I was going kind of quick. I want to try to get this video out there as fast as I possibly can, like as to give you guys as much time to watch it before the market opens. I think there's a risk of more downside personally. Looking at SPY and the others, looking at the 4-hour, we're kind of contracting right now. So I think that is what's most likely going to happen. I think that with the next move to the downside, we'll just have to watch and see how well it holds its supports. But remember, guys, this move that the market's making, the move to the downside, was exactly as we predicted, exactly as we expected. So there's no surprises by it. We'll just have to see how things go from here. But with that being said, I just want to say I really appreciate every single one of you. Please have an absolute incredible rest of the day. And I'll see you guys very, very soon in just a couple of hours. Thank you for listening, and peace out.